Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the March Board meeting. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call. Please mark that all members are present. 2.2, is there anyone who needs to disclose a conflict of interest? Okay, 2.3, review and approval of the agenda. Entertain a motion to do so.
Mr. President, I move we approve the agenda.
Okay, motion by Moulton.
Second.
Second by Lohr. Questions, comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Approve the minutes of February 9, 2026. Entertain a motion to do so.
I move that we approve the minutes.
Okay, motion by Lohr.
Second.
Second by Moulton. Questions, comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. The financial report for February 2026.
Thank you. In the general fund, revenue for the period included the standard state aid payment and other state funding sources of $707,000, which included state school apportionment funds and bank franchise tax. Expenditures remained moderate during the period, resulting in an ending fund balance of $5.5 million. Capital outlay revenue for the period was moderate, with taxes reported at $173,000 and other revenue of $90,000 relating to an insurance claim reimbursement and the final contribution of $200,000 from First Premier in support of the video board at the athletic complex. Expenditures were largely related to a down payment on the air conditioning projects at Lincoln and Jefferson, resulting in an ending cash balance of $1.9 million. Special education revenue for the period consisted primarily of regular property tax collections and a monthly state aid payment of $139,000. Expenditures totaled $798,000 and exceeded revenues for the month. The fund balanced the reporting period with a cash balance of $2.2 million. K-12 nutrition total revenue for the month amounted to $194,000 and exceeded expenditures during the period. The ending cash balance was reported at $177,000. Lake Area Technical College reported $673,000 in tuition revenue and $870,000 in other revenue for the month. Other revenue includes student fees, resale items from building trades projects, and rental income from Mount Marty and Northeast Tech. Total monthly revenue was approximately $1.7 million, while disbursements totaled $2.5 million. The fund concluded the month with a cash balance of $9.4 million. LATC Enterprise Funds reported revenue and expenditures at appropriate levels to support their operations. In Employee Benefit Trust, premium revenues exceeded administrative claims costs for the month, resulting in a net increase to the trust. As a result, the ending fund balance increased by $406,000, resulting in a cash balance of $3.8 million, which is still reported above that of the previous year. I'd be happy to answer any questions should you have any.
With no questions, thank you, Heidi. We will move to 2.6, student and staff recognition.
Awesome. We've got some students to be recognized tonight. Two of our fall activities just concluded a couple months ago. We've got some cross-country runners to award tonight. We have two, and so for activity participants, I'll have you come up. One of our school board members will have your award. We'll pose for that kind of a picture with the board member, and then we're gonna have you turn and face that camera so we get you, and then file here, and we'll take one picture by sport. So earning all academic all-state, Tucker Lundy. And Emma Rye. And then earning an all-state award, Dane Stark. Did you get Dane? Tucker, I'm glad you had the shades off for the picture. Thanks, buddy. There's our cross-country award winners. Next, we have some volleyball. And we have 4 academic all-staters. Kinsey Russell, Ava Lee, Siri Bach, and Anna Hertz. Earning second team All-State was Andy Olson. And all-tournament team, Kinsey Russell. All right, there's your volleyball award winners. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for coming tonight. And you can take off if you want to, unless you want to stay for the meeting and don't have better plans. But congratulations to you guys who excel in the classroom and excel in your athletic endeavors. Very impressive. We'll move to item 3.1, public input on agenda or non-agenda items. Okay, hearing none, we'll go to 3.2, legislative update.
Good evening. I'll share a brief legislative update, and by the end of this week, everything will be said and done, and we can have a final report on the 2026 legislative session. Within the next day or so, we should have a final determination on what we'll receive for state aid. When I left the office to come over, the Senate was still in session. Joint Committee on Appropriations is scheduled to set the Board of Technical Education's budget either tonight or they'll carry it over to tomorrow. So the governor, as you know, has proposed a 1% increase. There are some legislators discussing a little bit higher rate than that. So hopefully by the end of the week, we've got a really clear picture on that, and we can finalize our proposals for the FY27 budget. The State Board of Technical Education will meet on the 26th of this month for their annual state tuition and fee setting meeting. And so at that point, they'll consider whether tuition across the state will be increasing or not. A couple of other updates for the group at large. House Bill 1202 was the one-time appropriation bill for the Trade Center at Lake Area Technical College. Last Monday, that bill died on the House floor, just shy of the 2/3 required vote. But just because the appropriation bill died does not mean the need in workforce has died. We'll continue to work on fundraising efforts to make sure that that trade center can come to life. For those who aren't familiar with what that bill would have done, it would have paired state funding with private investments so that Lake Area Tech could start 3 brand new programs in HVAC, industrial refrigeration, and water treatment. And so those will be the areas where we continue to work with industry on program development and raising the dollars needed to start those programs on campus. The other 2 pieces that we still have an interest in as the legislature finishes out the general bill, there is a proposal for one-time dollars for equipment, once again throughout the technical college system, and there is also a proposal for some one-time dollars for maintenance and repair. And so by the end of the week, we'll have a sense of what will come to us in next year's budget, and we can start to plan appropriately. All in all, discussions around the technical college system within the legislature continue to be positive. Legislators continue to recognize the balance need between state government's role and meeting workforce needs across the state, and so just appreciate especially the work that Senator Vilhauer and Representative Roby have done for Lake Area Technical College. They were the prime sponsors on House Bill 1202 and have done so much, not just for Lake Area Tech, but the entire system across the state throughout this legislative session. I want to give them a shout out for the weight they carried on our behalf. But I'll stand by for any questions that you all might have.
Okay, I guess there are no questions right now. So I think we'll get to stay there. We'll move to item 4.1, personnel
Very good.
action items for LATC.
Tonight we're working from the blue sheet. There was one change to the list for today. So we'll start, Mr. President, by saying we have no retirements for consideration tonight. So if it's okay with you, we'll move on to 4.1.2 resignations. Tonight we've got 3 resignations for your consideration, and I would ask that you approve those as we've recommended those.
Okay, entertain a motion to accept these resignations.
Move that we approve the resignations as listed on the blue sheet.
Okay, motion by Rossman,
Second.
second by Rammel. Questions, comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We can go to 4.1.3, contract recommendations and addendums.
Before you are a variety of contracts for the spring semester. They include hourly lab help for a variety of programs, part-time child care workers, and some of the adjuncts and overloads for classes this spring semester. Recommend your approval as those are listed.
Okay, entertain a motion to approve the contract recommendations and addendums.
I move that we approve the contract recommendations and addendums as listed.
Okay, motion by Rammel.
Second.
Second by Rossman. Questions, comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. 4.1.4, authorize continued employment for LATC administrators and directors.
Thank you. Before you is a list of 8 administrator positions, and we recommend your approval as those are listed. And just a side comment as we head into the budget season, this last year we had 9 administrators on contract. As you're familiar, Terry Cordry passed away unexpectedly in January. At this time, we are not recommending filling that administrator position. We're working to find the replacement, and we'll visit with you through the budget process about what we propose on that front.
Okay. Entertain a motion to authorize this employment.
I move that we approve the, how do we want to call it, the employment of LATC administrators and directors for the 2026-27.
Okay, motion by Rossman.
Second.
Second by Rammel. Questions, comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Brings us to 4.2, property. 4.2.1, consider surplus resolution.
Thank you. Tonight we seek your approval for a surplus resolution that would put for sale a robotic system welder out of the welding program. This robot was purchased about 14 years ago, and the technology has changed pretty dramatically since that time. And so we, with your approval, would put this on Purple Wave auction for sale.
Okay, entertain a motion to approve this surplus resolution.
Mr. President, I move we approve the surplus resolution for the robotic system welder.
Okay, motion by Moulton,
Second.
second by Lohr. Questions, comments? I think you're probably right. If it's 14 years old, the technology is, that's
quite
Stone
different.
Age in technology world. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. 4.2.2, authority to purchase an HEO motor grader.
Thank you. We accepted bids for a motor grader for our heavy equipment operator program. 2 bids were received, and we recommend that you accept the low bid from Butler Machinery. Again, for our heavy equipment operator program, the bid price was $97,530. This will be funded through our FY26 Federal Perkins Grant, and the bid met all of our specifications.
Okay. Entertain a motion to approve this authority to purchase.
I'll move the authority to purchase the HEO motor grader as explained.
Motion by Lohr,
Second.
second by Moulton. Questions, comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. 4.2.3, authority to purchase nursing anatomy table.
Thank you. Tonight we've got the results of the bids that were received on a nursing anatomy table. We received 2 bids. One was a qualifying bid that met all of our specifications, and we recommend the approval of that package. The bid price was $105,390. This also will be purchased through our FY26 federal grant. As I mentioned, it met all of the specifications. This particular table will go to our program, nursing program in Pierre, and allow us to start offering our anatomy course both for nursing students and for dual credit students out of Central South Dakota next year.
Okay, entertain a motion to approve this authority to purchase.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the purchase for the anatomy table as explained.
Motion by Moulton,
Second.
second by Lohr. Questions, comments? as
This is a great piece of equipment.
Yes.
I've never seen it in operation.
It's incredible.
Pretty impressive.
Virtually looking at a cadaver
Yeah.
Yes.
electronically.
And as I understand, this means those students do not have to travel to campus to do lab work. They can do that.
Yeah, that's a great point, John. Currently, if a student is taking the nursing program in Central South Dakota, they still need their anatomy class to get that nursing degree. And so multiple times per semester, students are traveling a great distance for anatomy lab for use of these tables that we have here in Watertown and our cadaver lab. And this will reduce transportation costs for those students by a great deal.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Does anybody remember the old Encyclopedia Britannica that had the certain pages you would open up, and that's
The clear sheets.
that's how you lay? Yeah, yeah. This is yeah. Some of you know what I'm talking about.
Or
This
Grey's
is a-
Anatomy.
This is a huge upgrade. Thank you. We had our motion second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carried. 4.2.4, Sourcewell bid.
Thank you. What we're seeking your approval on here is a cooperative bid from Johnson Controls for 2 rooftop units, heating and cooling systems that will go on the top of the Met building, replacing units that are about the age of my senior in high school. So they are on their last legs. And the total cost would be $94,130. We're taking this out of our maintenance and repair budget for FY26.
Okay, entertain a motion to approve this bid.
I'll move the bid for the rooftop heating and cooling systems.
Okay, motion by Laura,
Second.
second by Moulton. Questions, comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. 4.2.5, consider change order number 8.
I believe this is the final change order on the Archway complex, and it's just a small increase to balance out all of the expenditures on that project. The approval would be for $1,156 in the change order, and that revises the entire contract for the Archway to $20,688,967.
Okay, entertain a motion to approve change order number 8.
I move that we approve change order number 8 for the Archway Complex.
Okay, motion by Moulton,
Second.
second by Laura. Questions, comments?
Did we come in under budget?
Yes.
The original budget,
Yep.
yeah.
Okay.
The original budget, we came in right around where it was expected.
Thank you.
Okay, and that's a rather minor change order, isn't it? Okay. Any other questions or comments? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, President Sanderson. 5.1, public input on agenda or non-agenda items. Hearing none, we'll go to 5.2, Northeast Technical High School report.
Yes, just a reminder to those board members that attend the Northeast Tech Board, that is next Wednesday, the 18th, 5:45 start. And I think I just saw, this is, a little bit down the road, but not that far away. April 29th is the the Northeast Tech Project Day for all of the Northeast Tech programs. So more information coming out about that, but I believe we got a postcard today from the director over
Okay.
there.
Thank you. It takes us to 5.3, Special Services Update. We will welcome Dr. Bollinger.
Good evening. We're going to do a little overview of special services tonight. So just as a reminder from last year, what special education is, it's just customized instruction designed to meet unique needs of our students with disabilities. It provides individual support and services to help students succeed academically, socially, emotionally in school. They can qualify in special education under 14 different categories. We'll talk about a little bit of this. So if a student qualifies, then we place them on what's called an IEP, an individualized education plan. They qualify based on evaluations that determine if they have a disability affecting their education. Currently, at this time, as of our December 1st child count, which I'll talk about, we are servicing 653 students within the Watertown School District. We provide specialized instruction, speech, occupational therapy, physical therapy, and behavior support for all of our students. Bring that back. So December child count, I already kind of mentioned that. What is December child count? Why do we do December child count? For our gen ed students, or our total population, we do a child count at the end of September. For special education, we do a child count in December. It's a count of eligible students receiving special education services within our school district. It's federally required under the IDEA, or Individuals with Disability Act. It's a snapshot of students that have active IEPs within our district on December 1st. And that count, when we submit that count, it drives our state and federal funding, maintenance of effort calculations, compliance monitoring, and state indicator reporting. So lots of that information when we send it to the state, then they derive all sorts of things from that. Interestingly enough, since we've been talking about enrollment, I took the last 5 years snapshot of general enrollment. So that would be those purple bars that you're looking at on this bar graph. And that's our total enrollment within the last 5 years. The yellow is the number of students that we're serving in special education. And you can kind of see our general enrollment is declining, but our special education enrollment stays pretty steady, or it goes up. I was just at the State SPED conference last week. This is a statewide trend. This isn't anything unique to Watertown, South Dakota. It is happening across the state, where we're seeing general ed, or the general education population, go down, but the special education population either remaining the same or going up. And then you can kind of see the percentages. Special education is creeping up a little bit for us. So what do we need to do to meet the needs of our students? Staffing needs are driven more by the type of disability rather than the total number of students. So I have 653 students. That doesn't mean divide that by whatever and that's how many special ed staff I need. It doesn't work that way. We're looking at each student's individual needs and what kind of support they need to determine staffing. So we are seeing a shift toward categories that typically require lower student to staff ratios or more paraprofessional support. For instance, in 2021, students qualifying under the autism category has increased to 42.6%. Multiple disabilities up by 72.7%. And then of course, I gotta put a plug in for speech. Speech language has also increased by 16.7%, driving that need for more SPED support. And just as a side note, that speech language, that 16.7% are only students qualifying under the category of speech language. We also serve an additional 125 students with speech as a related service. So they don't qualify just under the speech category. They might qualify under special or a learning disability or autism, but also require speech. So how can we help our students? Under IDEA, every eligible student with a disability is entitled to a free appropriate public education, which means that special education and related services are provided at a public expense. So educational programming, I'm looking over students who are ages 3 all the way up to 21. And sometimes we kind of forget that, oh gosh, we have these littles down here and we have adults that we are servicing as well. We kind of think about K-12, but we are actually 3 years old to 21 years old. Regardless of their disability or their severity, they're ours. We need to service them. So students must receive services designated to meet their unique needs. Again, individualized education plan. So how do we service those students? We always want to make sure that we are servicing them in what's called the least restrictive environment. So IDEA requires students with disabilities to be educated in the least restrictive environment, which means we want them with their non-disabled peers whenever appropriate. Removal from the general education occurs only when it's necessary, and placement decisions are made individually. So every single student, we think about what's going to be best for that child. Research on inclusiveness, or including students with their general education peers, means that they've had improved academic and social outcomes for many students with disabilities, and it also increases empathy, collaboration, and belonging among all students, including our general ed students. So how do we find students or understand that students need to be or could qualify to be on an IEP? And that's called Child Find. So under IDEA, again, school districts must identify and locate and evaluate children who may have disabilities and need special education services. We have to prove that we are making an effort to make sure we are educating all of our students to the best of our abilities. It applies to all children. Now you're going to see birth through 21 living in our district. It includes students in public schools, private schools, home schools, or students not yet enrolled in our district. So when you're looking at that 653 number, some of those students are students that are from St. Martin's, the Catholic school, Ave Maria, and Watertown Christian that we still service. Our district ensures child find responsibilities by going through certain things that we have to share with the state, because the state wants to know, hold us accountable, how are you finding students? So we do universal screenings and early childhood screenings. I'm sure you've heard Mrs. Hatton talk about our early childhood screenings at her building, but we also do teacher and parent referrals. We use our RTI system within our school to monitor student progress. You've heard us talk about MAP testing. That helps us determine students to see if students are eligible or should be tested for special education. We have evaluations conducted by qualified staff, which would be our special education staff along with our school psychologists. We also work in collaboration with community partners. Think Head Start, think the different preschools in town. They will refer students our way as well if they see a student struggling. And then of course we have public notices informing families of available services. So speaking of public notices, just a little plug. We have kindergarten and preschool registration. If you have not yet signed up for that, please make sure that you register your child for preschool or kindergarten. We have this awesome flyer from Mrs. Hatton to get our students signed up, or get your students signed up. These would be students that are turning 4 or 5 on or before September 1st. It will be March 16th and 17th, so a week from today and a week from tomorrow at McKinley Early Childhood Center. Small plug. All right, so let's talk about preschool, because that is one of the services that special education helps with. So the students that are 4 years old on or before September 1st may enroll in preschool. Students qualify through special education, title, or tuition-based options. So that is, we've talked about what our preschool is. Those are how our students can get in. Screenings are held at McKinley Early Childhood Center. Registration is going to be through McKinley. You can go to their website to find that QR code to scan to register your child. And then don't forget that we have options for busing for our students. I touched on this a little bit, but we do offer birth to 3 services as well within our district. So we have teachers that work at McKinley Early Childhood Center that also service students who are babies all the way up to 3 years old. So we work in conjunction with the state's Birth to 3 program to offer early intervention services, developmental screenings and support, and family involvement. At 3 years old, those students, if they are prolonged, meaning they will continue to receive services or continue to need services, then they move into our McKinley Early Childhood Center at that time. And then of course, kindergarten. We need all our kindergartners. So students who are 5 on or before September 1st, again, please sign up for kindergarten. You can register by going to the McKinley Early Childhood Center website and go on that QR code. Some other services within our special education program. I'm going to just go through a few of them here and touch on them. We have what we call structured learning centers. These are designed for students with significant cognitive delays. We provide individual support in smaller structured classrooms. We focus on academics and functional life skills among daily living skills. It's just empowering students with social and communication skills for independence. We also offer alternative education programs from first grade all the way up through high school. This program supports students who struggle behaviorally within a classroom, either academically or in the general education setting. It's just difficult for them. So we provide some structured interventions to help students develop those self-regulation skills that they might not yet have. We look at coping strategies, and of course we always focus on academic success. Our students have those classes have smaller class sizes so that we can meet that individualized instruction and then just really focus in on that social emotional learning. We also have what's called the transition campus. Those are our 18 to 21-year-old students. If you guys ever want to have a good time or a good laugh, head on up there. It's just great to hang out up there. We've got adults they're just entertaining to me. I think they're wonderful. They're going out to jobs. They're so proud of themselves because they apply for jobs. They go to their job every day, and then they come back and they're just so excited and proud of what they're doing. But these are our 18 to 21-year-old students. They've completed 12th grade, their 12th grade year at the high school. And then again, this offers that functional and vocational skills necessary for independence, but they also work on things for the home and the community and the workplace. And that is all I have, but I would entertain any questions.
Very interesting. Explain to us where the funding comes.
The funding comes through, okay, so there's different categories. You can qualify under special, I'm going to use my hands a lot.
Yep.
You can qualify under special education under 14 categories. But those categories are divided up based on needs. Obviously, some of them, autism, multiple disabilities, we're going to get more funding for than a student who is just on a speech IEP. So that funding is divided up by the state in some miraculous formula, and then when we submit our data, our December 1st child count, it indicates how many students we have, which category they qualify in, whether they need transportation, communication, all those things, a nurse, and then that's how our funding is calculated.
So a lot of it comes state, but is it a kind of a pass-through where it's coming from the federal government to the state to us?
Yes. Yep.
So, Dr. Bollinger, for private schools that we offer services here within the city, do they share any money with us for doing these services?
They don't. We get money through our December 1st child count is how we're funded to help service those students.
Okay. So to clarify, we're providing help and services for parochial schools, etc.
Yes, we are.
But they aren't necessarily giving us money to help.
Correct.
So we rely on the state or federal
Any
funds?
of the three
Federal
sources.
funding.
Yeah.
Local,
Yeah.
there is a local levy.
Local, state, federal.
and
Yeah.
federal
Yeah.
to help pay for the staff.
Sure.
Essentially, you pay for the staff,
Yes.
who then delivers
Yeah.
the.
Yeah.
And that's why
whatever
it's
the
important for us
services
to
are.
make sure that they're included in our child count so that
Sure.
we essentially get reimbursed for those services.
Sure, understandable.
But the school itself does not.
Yeah.
No.
For alternative ed,
Mm-hmm.
it's more than just grades 9 through 12.
It is.
So it's other grades,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
say 7, 8.
First, second, third,
Third,
fourth, all the way up to high
up.
school.
So
Yep.
like in the lower grades, Millette houses,
Yeah.
if you would end up in alternative education, they go to Millette. And note that Jefferson would have the structured learning center. on
I didn't
those slides.
indicate where they're at. So yeah, Structured Learning Center is at Jefferson. And I didn't really touch on EL services, but EL services are kind of located through Lincoln, and then at Millette is our alternative education.
So English is a second language.
Yes,
Yes,
that's what's
correct.
at Lincoln.
And then when they
You
get
ever
to,
explored any grants that might beef up our alternative education programs?
I have not at this time.
I know we used to have quite a
yeah.
few, actually.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Something to think about.
Mhm.
I think the Department of Labor used to be way more helpful.
Yeah.
In terms of providing,
Yes.
like back, what is it, 20 plus years ago when we had certain programs in town that I know a lot of people remember.
Yeah.
Those were, like, the high school portion
Yeah.
of it was funded by Department
It
of
was
Labor.
Department of
It wasn't
Labor,
actually a
about
school
20-ish
district.
years ago. When I was teaching,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
back in those times, Department of Labor helped fund some
They
of those
did.
alternative
Yeah.
programs.
But
Yeah.
their funds have kind of dried up too.
Mm-hmm. Did you have a question?
well, yeah, I forgot the other one. But the question I was gonna ask was, so looking at the trend data, like you said,
Yeah.
it's a national trend really that the
Yes.
SPED numbers are rising.
Mhm.
What's the conversation look like around that for like what's attributing to that? Is it that we're catching things more frequently, that
Yeah.
we're screening better, we're getting better referrals, or is it completely different than that?
No, that's a great
Okay.
question. So the conversation around that is we are catching more students. We have programs like RTI who, bless you, RTI that catches a lot more students, and we're catching them quicker. So that we're looking at that at those screening processes just being more effective. And so now we're seeing that students need more help in certain areas, and then therefore qualifying for special education. So that seems to be the trend. There is some talk about looking at how we qualify students, though,
Okay.
as that number kind of creeps up a little bit. If you saw, ours was, I believe, at 17 and we're at 19, but our population has gone down, is looking at how students qualify for special education. And I know that probably in the future will be another conversation of looking at, are we overqualifying students? And looking at some of our testing procedures and how we do that to determine if we're overqualifying students or not.
Thank you.
To piggyback off of her question, are you concerned about capacity, internal capacity for the SPED teachers that we have currently watching this number go up?
We watch that really carefully. So every year I audit where we're at with students in each building, how much staff I have in each building. And to be quite honest, we're pretty flexible about saying, gosh, we need some help over here, or I need to move paras over here and move help over here. So we really keep a tight watch on, with the help of Heidi and her office, on where we need support.
Yep.
And then as students graduate out and taking some of that support from the high school and recycling it back down to keep our staff within our district, but also to keep that support going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. The other question I had was, I know that our SPED teachers work really hard in collaboration with the parents, specifically as they work through the IEPs and the IEP meetings. I'm just curious what the collaboration has looked like, maybe even over the years with parents. Are they coming to the IEP meetings? Is that a struggle? What are you seeing?
Yes, they're coming to the IEP meetings. I would say that the relationship building of our special ed teachers with parents is phenomenal.
Okay.
They work very hard to build those relationships
Yeah.
early on. Our parents are our advocates for our students. They're the best advocates for our students. They know our students the best. So we want them involved in the process. And legally, they need to be involved in the process. They need to be at the table. But I know that our teachers work very hard to collaborate with them, to communicate with them. Some of those conversations are really difficult if you have to sit down at the table and say, hey, we think your child has autism. That's a tough conversation to have, but to understand that the 10 people sitting at the table are here to help. And that's the message that we want to offer. We're here to help. We want your child to succeed. We want them to be successful and productive members of our society, as they graduate from our school.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So over the years, have you noticed the definition of autism has broadened, or because we're including more students?
I would say yes to that question. Like I said earlier, it's the testing that we're picking up on more students. We also have people coming in from outside agencies who have done some testing, and we get diagnoses from them. We still do our own internal to just, are they able to access a free, appropriate public education? That's our goal. Like, are they able to access it? And then we go from there to make sure that we're offering them the services. But I would say we are identifying a lot more. Well, it's clear we're identifying a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kudos to special ed pairs and teachers. I know the paperwork is a headache. It's
Yes, and we got audited this year as well, so that was super fun. That was sarcastic.
I was gonna say.
It was not super fun, but our staff did an amazing job with the audit. Just very few tweaks, and the state has asked us to model a few of them for them, so that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
And a nice pat on the back to our staff.
good. We have phenomenal staff.
We do. Makes me look.
One thing I throw in there about the staff that has been really fun to watch is we've had 2 cohorts now of the teacher apprenticeship pathway, which is paraprofessionals getting their degree and then being qualified. And we've had the opportunity that we've had 7, I think, go through the program and have all gotten jobs. Not every single one of them got a job with us,
Yeah.
but and a lot of them are in the special education. They've gotten their degrees in special education, and we've been able to utilize that. So that's a thank you to the state for even having that program. But that's been pretty enjoyable too, to watch people kind of transform their career through this apprenticeship pathway.
I think your observation about doing a better job of screening is very accurate. Those of us of a certain age remember hearing stories of learning later that we had classmates that were dyslexic and it was just not diagnosed and there was no awareness of it. And what a tragedy that was. So the screening and the much better job of screening is very important. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we now move to 5.4. 5.41, we have first reading of some policies.
Yes, we have 4 policies tonight. The first one is job sharing in teaching positions. We do have that opportunity if there were instructors who wanted to share one position. And this is just for your review. That was GCGC. And then the GCGC-A is the proposal form that those teachers would fill out if they were going to do that.
Do you know if has that policy been used?
I know it has been in the history of it, but like in my 9 years here, we have not had a job share proposal, but there were none happening when I got here, and there have not been any proposals brought before the board since I've been here.
Okay. Well, I mean, the review is good just because maybe there's people who aren't aware that that option is out there.
Yes.
I think from a school standpoint, if we get 2 people sharing a job, it's like getting 3/4 of a teacher and 3/4 of a teacher.
A little bit like that.
Yeah. There's no such thing as a half-time teacher, I don't think. Go ahead.
Yep. And then homebound instruction, IGBG. That's a review also. And the 4th one, IHAMA, teaching about drugs, alcohol, and tobacco. There were a few updates in that last paragraph per the Associated School Boards, and a lot of that is recognizing we actually want people to come forward, and it mentions both students and staff so that they can receive help because of this.
Okay. And this is just the first reading, which means next month will be the adoption of
Correct.
Okay. Takes us to item 6.1, approval of the bills. Entertain a motion to do so.
I move we approve the bills.
Okay, motion by Laura,
Second.
second by Moulton. All in questions, comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Takes us to 6.2.1. We have retirements.
I have 2 retirements this evening. I thank both of these ladies for their service to the school district and would recommend your approval of these.
Okay, entertain. That's on the green sheet, I believe, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Entertain a motion to approve these two retirements.
Move that we approve both of the retirements that are listed.
Motion by Rossman,
Second?
second by Rammel. Questions, comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you for your years of service. Takes us to item 6.2.2, resignations.
Handful of resignations for this evening. Recommend your approval of those as presented.
And note, the extra duties would be pending suitable replacement.
Okay. I entertain a motion to approve these resignations.
I move that we approve the resignations as listed.
Okay, motion by Rammel,
Second?
second by Rossman. Questions, comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. 6.2.3, contract recommendations and addendums.
A couple of new hires in here, as well as some addendums. We're in the thick of the hiring process for next year already as well. You can see there are a couple of special education teachers, but would recommend these contracts and addendums as presented.
Okay, entertain a motion to do so.
Move that we approve the contract recommendations and addendums as listed.
Okay, motion by Rossman,
Second?
second by Rammel. Questions, comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. 6.2.4, authorize continued employment for K-12 administrators and directors for
Yes.
26-27.
19 administrators for your consideration and recommended for your approval.
Okay, entertain a motion to do so.
I move that we approve the administrators as listed.
Okay, motion by Rammel,
Second?
second by Rossman. Questions, comments?
Mr. President,
Yes.
I request a roll call vote on this motion.
Okay, we'll do so. We will start on the left side of the table. Rammel,
Aye.
Rossman,
Aye.
Iverson, aye. Moulton,
No.
Lore,
Aye.
aye. Okay, motion carries 4-1. It takes us to 6.2.5, approve Aero Education Foundation board members.
All right. Typically, when we have a change to the Aero Education Board of Directors, we bring this. The Aero Ed is essentially under the auspices, I'll say, of the Watertown School District. And when we have a change to our board, we bring that to you for approval. And this year, we are adding Tommy Mattingly, class of 02, Watertown High School, to that. There are no other changes. It just so happened that we actually could use an additional board member. So this is an addition to the board, not filling a previous board member.
Okay. Entertain a motion to approve the list of Aero Education Foundation board members.
So moved.
Motion by Rossman,
Second?
second by Rammel. Questions, comments? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. Takes us to 6.3, property. Receive and approve the audit for the 24-25 fiscal year. Heidi?
Yes. The 24-25 audit for the district has been accepted by legislative audit. The board has been provided a hard copy of the report, and the PDF version is available on the district's website. An unmodified opinion or clean opinion was issued on the financial statements of the business type activities in each major fund. An unmodified opinion concludes that the financial statements were presented fairly and in all material respects in accordance with the applicable financial reporting framework. The summary of auditor's results can be found on page 90 of the report. Some highlights of the report include that the district's net position increased by $6.9 million, resulting in a net position of over $137 million. In fiscal year 25, total revenue surpassed $113 million, and expenditures were reported in the amount of $106 million. During fiscal year 2025, the district received approximately $15.3 million in federal funding. As part of the annual single audit process, certain federal programs are selected for more detailed review and testing. For this year's audit, the Student Financial Aid Cluster was identified as a major program, representing approximately $10.3 million of the $15.3 million in federal funds received. Because of the size and complexity of these funds, the Student Financial Aid Program undergoes extensive compliance testing to ensure federal regulations are being followed. I'm pleased to report that no findings were identified within these major programs. This is significant because the single audit process is very comprehensive and involves detailed testing of internal controls, documentation, and compliance with federal requirements. So kudos to the federal financial aid staff at Lake Area Tech, along with Emily Sobel in our office. They do a lot with federal financial aid, and it is a very large program. The absence of findings reflects the strong internal processes and careful oversight in place for managing federal funds. The management's discussion and analysis report can be found starting on page 6 of the audit report, which provides an internal outline of the main financial impacts of the audit report and corresponding financial reports. The detailed audit report is open to public inspection during normal business hours at the business office and is also available in PDF format on the district's website, as well as the Department of Legislative Audit website. It is requested that the board approve the 24-25 audit report of the district.
Okay, and I was present this morning when the auditor gave a summary, and he spoke very highly of the work that was done here. So kudos to Heidi, to Emily, and to the people at Lake Area, especially the financial aid people, and the work that they've done. He was very, very impressed with how things are done here. So as a board, I think we're lucky to have the people we have. We're fortunate.
Thank you.
Entertain a motion to approve the audit for this 24-25 fiscal year.
I move to approve the audit for the 24-25 fiscal
Okay,
year.
motion by Laura,
Second.
second by Moulton. Questions, comments?
We have a budget meeting in April, is that correct?
Correct. Yep.
That's near the end of April, middle of
I think we
April?
I
set
think
that
we have
already.
it set for, let me look, Jean.
Is it
27th at 5 o'clock.
Yep, 27th, 5 o'clock.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, all in favor of approving the budget, or the audit, excuse me, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. 6.3.2, consider print management agreement.
Yes, it is recommended to approve a 5-year print management agreement with A&B Business Incorporated. This agreement will provide preventative maintenance, routine cleaning, inspections, and ongoing print management software to monitor devices for supply levels and service needs. The district currently contracts with A&B for service. However, this updated agreement would replace 60 existing devices with new leased equipment and facilitate the disposal of outdated printers. The proposal also streamlines operations by reducing toner varieties from 43 types to 5, so I think the IT department might be satisfied with that. Significantly improving efficiency and simplifying device management across the district.
Okay, entertain a motion to consider this print management agreement.
I move that we approve the print management agreement as explained.
Motion by Moulton,
Second.
second by Laura. Questions, comments?
I've worked with this company. They do provide excellent service. And are we reducing the number of printers? Did I hear that?
We're reducing the number of
types
toners.
toner.
Number of types of toner.
But we'd
Yep.
be replacing all of the printers with new updated leased equipment.
Okay, very good. They get hard use.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's nothing, speaking from experience, more frustrating than wasting a half an hour copying something that should take 5 minutes. And this hopefully will reduce that.
It's not just teachers that are using the printers.
Right.
Yeah.
Students all use these printers.
Yeah.
Does the lease price also include service and maintenance, or is that additional to that?
Nope, this is
Okay.
part of the lease. And actually what we currently pay, it will increase it by $200 a month,
Yeah.
which considering having new equipment and just the efficiency of that, it's a great option.
Yeah. Excellent. All in favor of approving the print management agreement, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. 6.3.3, consider the Sourcewell cooperative bid for playground equipment.
Yes, the district requests the authority to accept the Sourcewell bid from My Turn Play Systems under contract number 101625-BUR in the amount of $71,430 for playground equipment at Millette Elementary. The funds are set aside in the 5-year capital outlay fund under fiscal year 26-27. So again, this purchase is for next fiscal year and will fall under next fiscal year's budget.
Okay, entertain a motion to approve this playground equipment bid.
I'll make a motion to approve the bid on the playground as explained.
Okay, motion by Laura,
Second.
second by Moulton. Questions, comments?
I do suggest they remove one piece of It's like a wing or a kite on top, but maybe you can look into that.
Yeah, we will look into that, Jean. I know you had mentioned your concern with that. We'll ensure that the equipment that we order is safe and good for Millette Elementary.
It just looked like something that the wind could catch. Thanks for doing that.
Very welcome addition to the playground. It's
Yes, this
exciting.
will be a nice addition. I obviously don't have children there, but I have grandchildren who visit, and it'll be fun to take them up to see the new equipment next year. All in favor of approving the Sourcewell bid for playground equipment, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Takes us to 6.3.4, consider surplus resolution.
The district recommends to approve the surplus resolution declaring tech equipment surplus for sale.
Okay, entertain a motion to do so.
I move that we approve the surplus resolution.
Motion by Moulton,
Second.
second by Laura. Questions, comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. That takes us to 6.4, second reading of policies.
Yes, we have no updates to any of these. I wanted to make a comment because there was a question on the professional staff hiring policy. Had a board member question on, so in recent years, the state has allowed for student teachers to be compensated and be treated as the teacher of record. And the question was whether our policy needed to update to specifically address that. I feel it is covered within this this policy.
Which one are you looking
The
at?
third paragraph,
GCF.
last sentence, I think.
GCF, yes.
Right? Wasn't it
Yes.
that part? Yeah, the final recommendation to the board will be made by the superintendent or designee had to do with that.
Yes.
That gives the opportunity to approve it. I think it was that.
Was that?
That wasn't
not the
it.
one. No,
No,
that's
not right.
Is that-
No.
No.
It
Didn't
would
sound
have
right.
been GCAA.
Is that,
So-
oh, sorry, I grabbed the wrong
Yes,
policy,
that's
that's
why
why.
I was so confused.
Yeah, sorry,
I got
general
it.
qualifications.
Yep, yes.
And,
Minimum requirements.
sorry, the
that
second
last
policy.
sentence. Yep.
So, where it says exceptions to this policy may be made by the school board regarding the employment of instructional staff members by the district.
There we go.
That would be where I would point to, on that one. If we were to do that, it would be brought before you with the knowledge that that's what we were doing, and
Yep.
the board would be allowed to make that decision if you wanted to have a student teacher be a student or the teacher of record. We have tried not to do that up to this point. As long as we maintain qualified candidates for all of our positions, our preference would be to hire people who are past the point of student teaching, have their degree, have their full certificate, and use that. But the state does allow it now. So that was the question. Sorry, I had the wrong policy to start with.
Okay.
I had the right question though,
Yep,
right?
that's right. Yep.
Question again, do we need to do each policy?
Yes.
Okay. Get my alphabet ready. 6.4.1, GBJA, confidential information. Entertain a motion to approve this policy.
I move we approve GBJA, confidential information.
Okay, motion by Moulton,
Second.
second by Laura. Questions, comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. 6.4.2, GCAA, general qualifications. Entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Laura,
Second.
second by Moulton. Questions, comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. 6.4.3, GCB, certification. Entertain a motion to approve this policy.
So moved.
Motion by Laura,
Second.
second by Moulton. Questions, comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. 6.4.4, GCC, personnel seeking and holding public office.
I move that we approve GCC, holding public office.
Motion by Moulton, Second by Laura. Questions, comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. 6.4.5, GCCAE, Staff Conferences, Training Workshops. Entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Laura.
Second.
By Moulton. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. 6.4.6, GCF, Professional Hearing Staff. Professional staff hiring.
Close enough.
Close
You
enough.
got the letter file right.
There's so many letters here, it's like you're teaching a New Deal class where you've got all of these government programs. Entertain a motion to approve this.
I move we approve GCF, professional staff hiring.
Motion by Moulton,
Second.
second by Laura. Questions, comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, that takes us to 6.5.
Okay, no open enrollments for you on 6.5.1, so 1, 13, 28, 10 on 6.5.2 recommended for approval.
Okay, entertain a motion to approve this.
Move that we approve the 1, 13, 28, 10 as listed.
Okay, motion by Rossman,
Second.
second by Rammel. Questions, comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Takes us to 7.1, administrative reports.
Hey, a few announcements for the greater good here. Watertown is hosting the state Class A girls basketball tournament on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So we're always excited to get to host those state events. I think it's good for the community. So be on the lookout for lots of high schoolers who we don't know around town. Thanks to Mr. Boyens, Tammy Neal, and all the folks who help out with that. Takes a lot of
work.
Takes a lot of work, so we appreciate that. As mentioned, our pre-K and kindergarten screenings are next week on Monday, Tuesday, March 16th, 17th. And then we have spring break on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the 18th, 19th, 20th. So no school in Watertown, and Lake Erie is actually off the entire week, correct? We have, before the spring break, Bisco Barbecue, March 17th on 4th floor of Lake Erie at 11:30. Our speaker is Dr. Jess Edison, 1990 grad of Watertown High School, and gonna just share his journey. I think he's director of rheumatology out in
Walter Reed.
Yeah. So looking forward to him and just telling all the the good that's come from him after he graduated from Watertown. And then the inaugural ACT test for juniors. So we are entering the open windows for state testing. K-8 will still take the Smarter Balanced, but this year our juniors is switched to the ACT test. We are taking that on March 25th, and just for the board, and even so it's a little more awareness on it. Juniors that day, it's a one-day test. Juniors will take the ACT, sophomores will take the pre-ACT. Freshmen are going to have other programming for them that day. Seniors will be virtual, except they should attend their Northeast and dual credit classes in person that day. So we had to go with a modified schedule, and because of the ACT actually has different requirements. So like, for example, we would not be able to take the ACT in this format. There's space requirements, so we won't be able to we'll have to spread out throughout the high school and utilize all of our staff to help with that. So that's a big one. That's a big one this year because of the change, and it does cause some changing with staffing and the students that day. And then as mentioned by President Sanderson, the legislative session wraps up this week. I've even heard the number maybe to 1.4. 1.5 is still in play, but we'll know a little more by the end of the week. Some other bills, the Extraordinary Cost Fund for Special Education increased to $5 million, and that kind of pertains to the presentation from Dr. Ballinger, but that's a fund that's set out at the state level for schools to apply for, and if they have high-cost programs or a high-cost student that was maybe unexpected and they had to go over their budget. That was Senate Bill 106. Senate Bill 138 revised the time with which a recount for a school board election must be completed. Senate Bill 198. This is the cell phone bill that did fail. So I know that was a very prominent public bill this year on cell phones. My communications with legislators is obviously the majority were willing to allow local control. And just a reminder, in Watertown, K-8 should keep it in their locker or their backpack during the day. At the high school, we have what I would call, well, for some of us who are older than cell phones, you would call it maybe a calculator caddy, but we have caddies for students to place their phones in when they come into classrooms. And I've had good conversations with our legislators that the main problem they were trying to solve is attentive learning, and the belief that if we are stopping the cell phones while kids are in class time, that improves the intent. I know there were people with good intentions on this that have other, maybe more stringent beliefs about cell phones and the other problems they cause, and I don't necessarily disagree with some of the social media and the things like that, but they have access to them out. Like, we need more help than just the hours they're in school if we're going to really tackle that problem. But anyway, that one did fail. House Bill 1017, this is the school discipline bill. That has passed Senate Ed and the Senate floor. So we're going to need a lot of guidance on that one. There certainly could be some assistance there for schools, but I think that the regulations on how we go about doing some of that will tell whether or not that's a successful bill. That was amended several times and eventually went back to its original format. House Bill 1082 established parameters for the reimbursement of school districts that provide free or reduced lunch. It's still alive.
Went to the governor's desk.
So, and a reminder to the public and those of you in the room, but this would not expand the amount of students eligible for free or reduced lunch. What it would do is the state would pay for that reduced rate. So essentially we could say in South Dakota, you either qualify for a free meal or you don't, because then we will be reimbursed for what would essentially be 70 cents a day if the student ate breakfast at 30 cents or lunch at 40 cents for any student that qualified as a reduced. Right now in federal guidelines there's a reduced rate and a free rate. So those are the main ones to me that we've kind of talked about a little bit, that how they resolved. So
Thank you for that update.
yeah.
Thank you. 7.2, board reports to the superintendent.
Boys are going to state A basketball.
That is correct too. Yeah. Next, that one's out in Rapid City.
Yeah.
So make sure people, I would say the big thing unique about that tournament, I think it might be the first time that both the A and the AA tournaments are in the same city. So we are in the ice arena for the AA, and the Class A is in the Monument. So they're both going on at the same time out there. So good luck getting a room. That one, having them both out there. But
Mr. President, I don't want the moment to pass without some recognition.
Yes.
In Watertown, we have a workshop or a professional development conference called the Day of Development. And we have one of our very own finalists, the top 4 under 40 finalists, and our business manager, Heidi Clausen. And that just goes to show I want to speak to that personally. As a new board member, it can be very complicated and complex to understand all of the things that go into the finances of a school.
And I've really appreciated your guidance in helping understand that. So thank you for breaking that down and being amazing for the district.
Thank you.
I think the awards are at 3:30 on the 24th.
Yes.
Does that sound right?
I-
Yeah.
I
Down at the
believe so.
GAS, so if anybody wants to come see the crowning,
Can we vote or not?
we're rooting for you.
I don't think there's a vote. I think there's a panel.
Oh, shoot.
There's a final
Yeah,
Cracker
congrats.
Barrel too, isn't there?
Oh, is there?
at the
Well,
end?
I don't know.
there usually is, but I don't think you're talking about Cracker Barrel?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Watertown Chamber is planning to host a legislative social. Status right now, date has not been officially set. Legislators are finding out when everybody will be in town at the same time.
Okay,
So you can listen for an announcement on that front.
okay,
Okay.
great.
Veto
Thanks.
day is the 30th, correct?
Correct.
3 weeks from today.
Yeah,
So it probably would
Probably
be
during
after.
their break,
I guess
maybe?
it might be after that.
Oh. Okay.
I would like to echo what Bailey's comments. Thank you, Heidi, and congratulations to you. Very,
Thank you.
very well deserved.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
I'm waiting for the top 6 under 60.
Yeah. I'm waiting for a different number, but, yeah. Item 8, and I forgot my procedure here. Do I just declare executive session?
No, we need
or
a
vote
motion
on
to
it?
go into
Okay.
executive
you
session.
declare it out.
Okay, I remembered that part. Okay, so, slow learner here. I'll entertain a motion to move into executive session.
I move into executive session
Okay, motion by Moulton.
Second.
Second by Lord.
at 6:41.
Yes. Questions, comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we're in executive session.
No action to be taken after the executive session, other than adjournment.
Who sent?